Howdy Pastelinux viewers, this is John Osvaldo and we're going to be checking out uh, Tiny Core OS. Tiny Core OS is a special operating system based on Linux because it's only 10 megabytes. And with this 10 megabytes you will see that it is very limited, but the idea that you can fit a whole operating system with a GUI into 10 megabytes is pretty impressive. Core was just released today, October 15th, 2010. Core 3.2, excuse me. Um, Updates are pretty limited. I think it's just fixing a couple of bugs here and there. So let's get into the distro. As you can see here, it looks pretty simple. There's no desktop items, there's nothing. And besides this little dock, I think the dock is a very interesting feature to add into the 10 megabytes. I really like it. I'm not exactly sure on how to configure it at the moment, but there's a lot of tutorials on the actual site, on their wiki, where it tells you a lot of information about how to customize this core operating system. If you read the background, it says Toolkit for Linux built your way. I have a feeling that because this is such a small operating system, it's good for if you want to develop your own Linux-based distro, because it's very minimal and it only has 10 megabytes worth of stuff. You can do a lot of customization with it. First, let's look here. If you right click or left click, it brings up this little menu. In System Tools, this is where you're probably going to be getting most of your features. And new desktops, it supports more desktops. So if you see here, now we have 1 and 2 desktop. Let's delete desktop 1. Alright, because this is only 10 megabytes, you're very limited on what is installed. Most of the stuff on here is all terminal. I did notice that I could not get Wi-Fi out of the box, and I was reading the wiki, and you actually need to have cord-based internet on your laptop/desktop to get the driver/application to install Wi-Fi. I did read that tutorial and it seemed pretty straightforward. It only takes a matter of seconds to get Wi-Fi updated, but because I don't have a cord internet, I can't really access that. So this tutorial is going to be fairly limited because I'm not going to be able to go into a lot of the features that rely on installing applications, a browser, what have you. And speaking of a browser, there was no browser installed. So whenever it says this is a lightweight 10 megabyte operating system, really you're not getting anything on it. You're getting a GUI, right click menu, a dock, and that's pretty much it. If you do see here, it does have this application browser. If I did have internet, this would allow you to access all applications that you want to install and customize your distro with. I think the way they cut out most of the things that are usually installed on an operating system is by adding this application installer, because you have to rely on this to install anything, really. So if I did have internet, I would show you that, but because I don't, I can't. Let's look at the control panel. Control panel has most of anything you want to look on through this distro. It lets you access a lot of features, such as update apps, applications, date and time, your TCE drive, network, wallpaper, mouse tools, USB install, which was interesting, and I'm not exactly sure why someone would want to install. Well, no, it makes sense to install it on a USB, obviously, but I'm not exactly sure how else you would install this other than installing it on your computer. But why would you install the full thing on your computer? One thing I did notice was through virtualization and just in general, I could not figure out a way to mount my drives on this, so I could not access my hard drive. So I'm not exactly sure if I were to plug in. Well, let's plug in a USB drive. Alright, I just plugged in my USB drive, and let's see. If we go, oh wow, oh no, never mind. That's my actual distro in the background. Alright, so there really isn't much mounting. If you go to the mounting tool, actually, you will see this, which I have no clue what this is. It's very minimal and there's not much to it, so Okay. Um, and it's not going away. Well, if you do notice, it does come with the terminal, and the terminal is very nice. It actually supports color, which is unusual because I was not expecting that. What I mean by that is, give me 1 second. If you do a ls, oops, if you do an ls-la, you can see that directories are in color, hidden files are in color, and what have you. So that's kind of cool. I like that feature. Other than that, overall, I give this a 9 out of 10. For 10 megabytes and a GUI, I wouldn't expect anything less. I really enjoy this operating system. It's very cool to see what someone can do